In the previous class on machine learning, we have seen that machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence, and we have considered AI as a superset of machine learning. So we can say that machine learning is a type of artificial intelligence. There we have also seen that it extracts patterns from the set of data, and these patterns are formed into clusters based on their similarity in properties. The method of data analysis is automated so that human intervention is minimized. So the process of making patterns is automated so that human intervention is not required in this process. And by these activities, we produce some models, and we use these models for finding solutions for problems of similar kind. And whenever these models are being used, it is also subject to changes for repeated application of these models. And this change results in the self-learning process of a machine. So learning in AI is the modification in the system that are adaptive. When a system is subject to change as the environment changes, we can say that the system is adaptive. It is adaptive to the environment. And when the system is residing in a dynamic situation, then we can say that it is tend to modify the application procedures that are being used in the system. They enable the system to do the same task or task drawn from the same population more efficiently and effectively the next time. If we are applying a program on some data for the first time, it will be producing some result. When the same program is being applied on the same set of data, in the next run, it will be producing a different result or an efficient or effective result in the next run. How? Because the program is being modified by the background knowledges that has been acquired from the environment. So the program has been changed, or the system is learned something new when we compare it with the previous knowledge, and hence the system becomes efficient and effective. When the system becomes a learner, there should be somebody to train the system. So the human being are the teachers of the system, and the machine becomes the learner of the system. Suppose a system computes 500 factorial as the multiplication of all the numbers from 500 to 1 or 1 to 500. We get the result as 500 factorial, and this result is being stored in a database. Whenever the system requires this calculation, that is 500 factorial in a future time, then the system looks for this computed value in the database and use that value, thus by reducing the computation time. Although the computation time is reduced, we require additional storage for storing these results, and since the results are taken directly from the memory, we can reduce the computation time. So the repeated computation is being removed in this case. We can avoid inner complexities of a problem by using this methodology. Then why do we need machine learning? Just to understand or improve the efficiency of human learning. So for supporting human being or human learning process, machine learning is required, because Here the teachers of the machine are human beings. Whenever human beings teach a machine, that improves the quality or efficiency of the human being or a human teacher. And then it is necessary for discovering new things or structure that are unknown to human. When a system starts learning itself, it can discover new things that are unknown to human being. Then it can also fill in skeletal or incomplete details in a domain. If we have spaces or unfilled areas in a domain due to the unknown factor of human being, then those areas can be filled by this machine learned processes. So for these reasons, we require machine learning. Then some advantages of machine learning. One is the skill refinement. Skill refinement means the skill will get improved on repeated application of or repeated practice of applying these programs. For example, if we take the chess game, then at first when a player is being taught with the movements or valid movements of the coins in a chessboard, then his experience in chess playing goes on increasing day by day or game by game by reducing the mistakes that he has made in the previous game. So the expertise in the chess game grow from level 0 up to a certain level. So repeated playing of the game improves, or repeated practicing of the game improves the skills in that game. In the same way, a machine learned program can also get improved by repeated application of the program. So when a program is being applied on some set of data on the first time, it will not be the same program that will be applied on the same data in the next run. There will be some changes made in the program which is self-learned by the system. Then knowledge acquisition. So knowledge is acquired through experience. We have seen in the previous class that experience is being matched to the data set. So when the data set becomes larger, we take it for granted that experience is also becoming larger for the machine. So with the increased experience, knowledge can be acquired. For this reason also, we will be using machine learning. It's an advantage of machine learning. Then we have different types of learning. One is the rote learning. It is based on memorization. Another one is learning by taking advice. For simple type, rudimentary means simple or basic type also, we have to train the machine for accepting some factors, and based on that factors, it will go on learning new things. So there should be some advice to be given to the machine first. Then learning by example, consisting of two types, induction based and explanation based. Then learning with problem solving. By using different methods, we can solve the problem. Here experience is not being getting improved. Instead, the methods that we are using is increased. So instead of increasing the experience, methods or programs or different functions will be increased. So there are different types of learning procedures in this, and all these things are supplemented with videos. And for the last one, we don't have the video. I will explain in the next slide what is learning by macro operation. So learning by macro operation means The basic idea remains the same as similar to rote learning. In rote learning, we will be avoiding expensive recomputation. I've already said recomputation means, in the case with that 500 factorial, some computations will be stored in the memory, and whenever it is happening in future, the memory is being scanned for or searched for that computed result, and those things will be retrieved instead of recalculating this computation or reperforming this computation. So in such a way we can avoid expensive computation cost. So macro operation also belong to that category. Here the series of actions are grouped into one. So the number of actions performed will be reduced to a minimum size. For example, making dinner can be described as, so making dinner is an activity. Actually, it was not this activity, it had some more activities like laying the table, then cooking the dinner dishes for the dinner, and serving the dishes for the dinner. These activities are being grouped into a single activity like making dinner. Actually, if we take one of these like lay the table, itself will be having different small activities. In such way we can reduce the number of activities by grouping activities which are concerned with some similarity. So we could treat laying the table as one action. This is one action, even though it involves a sequence of actions. So that is macro operation, and all other things are being supplemented by different videos.